Urgent Dog Pound fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Dog Pound news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Joe Flacco reveals why he returned to Browns. It took them longer than some fans would have wanted, but the Cleveland Browns finally brought Joe Flacco back. Flacco ignited this team with hope and electric play to lead the team to the playoffs in the second half of the 2023 season. He gave the team the best quarterback play of the Kevin Stefanski era, even if things didn't end up as expected. When asked about his return to Northeast Ohio, the veteran signal caller admitted that the loss in the playoffs left a bitter taste in his mouth, and he wants to make the most of the chance to get things right this time. Yeah, listen, part of the excitement about coming back is the opportunity to kind of, hopefully, put a stamp on what happened a couple years ago and finish what we started, Flacco said. But when you lose playoff games, there are things that you want to get another opportunity to kind of come back and get a redo of. You're not promised that, and very often you don't get that opportunity, but it'll be nice to kind of play for the chance. Flacco didn't look sharp at all in the loss to the Houston Texans, although the team didn't do much to help his case either. That loss may have sealed his fate with the team. Also, the fact that Deshaun Watson was going to be back to full strength may have led the team to let him go. According to multiple reports, the Browns didn't want the fans to start calling for Flacco to be the starter if Watson struggled. Fast forward to today, and it's pretty evident that they may not have made the right decision. The Browns struggled with Watson at the helm, and he's not a part of the team's plans going forward. Flacco will now compete with Kenny Pickett for the starting quarterback job, and there are no guarantees. Who knows? He might even get a chance to get back at the very same team that ended his first run with the team 2 years ago. Pausing this news, just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Dog Pound news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Browns trade rumor links to troubled. QBite appears as though Derek Carr's days as a member of the New Orleans Saints could be numbered. In fact, there are rumors he could be traded to the Cleveland Browns for a later-round pick in this year's NFL Draft. Carr was supposed to be the flag bearer for the Saints this season and be their starting quarterback after a season riddled with injuries. Those plans changed last Friday when NFL Network reported that Carr could miss the entire 2025 season due to a shoulder injury. According to Diana Rossini of The Athletic, Carr's injury might actually be a trade strategy that his representatives are trying to use on the Saints. I did have a lot of text messages and conversations over the last few days about the Derek Carr situation, and it was very hard for me to find someone in football who said, "Oh, Derek's definitely dealing with a serious shoulder injury." It was, "How long have you been doing this? You know what this is about. Trade bait. End of the day, that's what this is about," Rossini said. Ross Jackson of the Locked On Podcast Network and Louisiana Sports. Net mentioned the Browns as a possible trade candidate for the quarterback services. Jackson had the following to say on Louisiana Sports. Net, the Browns would pick up just over $1 million of salary in exchange for what would likely be a day 3 pick. It would give Carr a chance to start fresh when he's healthy, while allowing the Saints to officially move on from the past and embrace a new era, Jackson said. With Kellen Moore at the helm, the team could handpick a quarterback in this year's draft, roll with Spencer Rattler, or look ahead to 2026. It would behoove the Saints to get the deal done after June 1st for salary cap purposes. It might be getting too late in the season to start shopping Carr to other teams, so the Browns might be in luck if they are willing to wait the season for him to get healthy. In luck unless Carr is in trouble because he's hurt, or maybe in trouble because he's not. 5 wide receivers who would fit the Browns on day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft. Jerry Jeudy was a bright spot on a disappointing season for the Cleveland Browns last year, and while Cedric Tillman took some great strides in his second year, the Browns receiving corps still has plenty of room to grow. They'll have ample opportunity to do so on day 2 of the NFL Draft, with several receivers expected to be taken in the second and third rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft. The Browns will have almost the entire draft board at their fingertips with the number 2 overall pick after the Tennessee Titans, presumably, select Miami quarterback Cam Ward at number 1. But signs are pointing to either Colorado's Travis Hunter or Penn State's Abdul Carter, hearing their names called next. Cleveland picks again at number 33 to start the second round and has picks nose 67 and 94 in the third. Which wide receiver prospects could make their way to Cleveland in the second or third round? A projected second-round pick, Burden was a second-team AP All-American in 2023 and a first-team All-Sec honoree in each of the last 2 years. After putting up 1,012 yards and 9 TDs on 86 catches in 2023, Burden's production took a step back last season, but his skill set remains the same. Has a dynamic playmaker with the ball in his hands, has an array of moves to make multiple players miss, and has a talent for picking up yards after the catch. A 5-star recruit out of high school, Burden is a big play waiting to happen. He ran a 4.41 40-yard dash at the Combine. The Tigers preferred to take advantage of his YAC ability, but Burden repeatedly flashed his speed and natural receiver instincts. He has burst off the line, stacks defenders on deep routes, and has the body, control to contort and make catches outside his frame. Jack Beck, TCU, 6'1", 214 pounds. A projected second-round pick, Beck has gotten comparisons to Cedric Tillman coming into the draft. He was a second-team All-Big 12 receiver last season, leading the Horned Frogs with 62 receptions and 1,034 receiving yards. Beck is a competitive, physical receiver with phenomenal ball skills and sticky hands. Beck won't wow you with his speed, but he understands how to use his body to box out defenders and create the space to get open. His tracking ability on deep routes and his catch focus are both excellent as well. He has the physical tools to do so, but will need to improve as a run blocker in the NFL. Still, his toughness and hands are ready for Sundays. Jaden Higgins, Iowa State, 6'4", 214 pounds, a third-team All-American and second-team performer in the Big 12. Higgins is projected to be a second-round pick. Higgins is a smooth route runner and knows how to use his size and physicality to create space. He has excellent tracking skills and a 39-inch vertical that makes him a real threat on jump balls. He hauled in 87 passes for 1,183 yards and led the Cyclones with 9 TDs this season. Higgins is not the most athletic receiver and likely won't dazzle you after the catch, but his ball skills and ability to play inside and outside at his size paint a clear picture of why he's on so many teams' radar. Isaiah Bond, Texas, 5'11", 180 pounds. Bond was overshadowed by Matthew Golden at Texas this year, but should be available when the Browns are on the board in the third round. He ran a 4.39 40-yard dash at the Combine, is a good route runner, has reliable hands, and can play inside or out. He has the speed to challenge a defense down the field, but can by a dynamic playmake with the ball in his hands on shorter, quicker routes. With just one career game of more than 199 catches over 3 seasons, Bond's production was not great, but he clearly has the potential to be a playmaker at the next level with a higher share of targets. Jalen Royals, Utah State, 6 foot, 205 pounds. Royals missed the second half of his final season at Utah State with a foot injury, but is still projected to be a second or third rounder. Even though he played just 7 games, Royals still led the Aggies with 55 receptions for 834 yards. He made the All-Mountain West second team after being a first-team selection with 1,080 receiving yards and a school record 15 TDs in 2023. Royals isn't the most explosive player off the line, but has a great feel for finding windows, hauling in contested catches and excels at making the first defender miss. He ran a 4.42 40-yard dash at the Combine and has the strength and body control to make plays on the ball and after the catch. Potential Day 2 target for Browns gets comparison to rising Cleveland receiver. This would be a fun duo to watch. Play alongside Jerry Jeudy. Cedric Tillman, the Cleveland Browns' third-round pick from 2023, looked to be the team's second-best receiving option at the beginning of 2024. Next to Jerry Jeudy and catching passes from Jameis Winston, Tillman seemed ready to take a leap from a rookie with promise to a genuine threat at midfield. Unfortunately, Tillman suffered a concussion against the Pittsburgh Steelers about midway through the year that saw him miss the rest of the season. It was a big blow to not just the team's production, but to his development. It looked like he was turning a very good corner for the Browns. There's always this year, though. So far, no news has dropped about his inability to play in 2025, so it's safe to assume he has recovered and is ready to try to take that leap again in this year's offense. However, Cleveland can always use more power on offense, and especially at receiver. Jeudy and Tillman cannot do it alone, and David Njoku was a bit hit or miss last season due to injury, so he can't be fully relied upon to pick up major receptions or snaps. That's where one potential prospect for Cleveland on day 2, Trey Harris, comes in, and what makes his comparison from one NFL analyst to Tillman so exciting. Harris earns comparison to Tillman from NFL analyst in his latest big board update prior to the NFL draft in 7 days. Fantasy Life's Thor Nystrom compares Harris, an Ole Miss product who helped showcase Jackson Dart's capabilities as a passer this past season, to Tillman. Ranked as the 8th best receiver in the class by Nystrom, Harris has been all over the place in analysts' minds. He's been projected to be anywhere between a late first-round pick to a third-rounder, if you watch any highlights of Harris' work. With Ole Miss from the 2024 season, you can immediately see Tillman. His speed isn't going to wow you, but his hands and body control will. His height might also be a negative, but it's clear he's a strong runner who can get plenty of yards after the catch through pure grit alone. Another potential plus for Harris, irrelevant to this Tillman comparison, is that he's already extremely familiar with Dart, a potential target for the Browns as well. If the team wanted to pair Dart up with a former teammate as a means of making his transition to the NFL smoother, Harris would be an excellent addition for that purpose. Getting compared to Tillman is a great thing, especially for Browns fans, who saw the major potential from him last year prior to his injury. And now, Dog Pound fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot. For Dog Pound, he'll be back any moment with more Dog Pound news. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof.